Welcome to Six in the City, the podcast where 620-somethings talk about shit and some of them live in cities.
I'm Jen.
I'm Lexi.
I'm Nancy.
I'm Elena.
I'm Jane.
And I'm Robin.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Six in the City podcast. Today, I am joined by Jane, Jen, Lexi, and myself, Nancy. And we're just going to dive right into some conversation starters. We can just talk about some questions I have here for everyone. Some of them might be controversial. And the first one I do have is cereal a soup to you guys? Why or why not?
No, I don't have a why. Just no.
I think yes for me.
Oh, wait. Actually, I know why.
You know why you're a no?
Yeah, I know why it's not a soup.
Okay, why?
You have to combine the ingredients.
When soup is made, the ingredients get combined.
Yeah, it comes to you combined.
You've never made your own soup?
Okay, but it's different when you eat it, you know? It's
But like, what about
ramen?
What about clam chowder where there's the soup and then sometimes it comes with the crouton bread biscuits?
Okay, but that's
but the broth itself is
It's like
like
one
made of other
ingredient?
stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think cereal is a soup. I'm with Jane.
Okay,
I
cool.
think it's like a
Wait,
breakfast
also-
soup.
I think another thing is you can have milk and cereal, like dry cereal separately.
Right.
You're gonna have like raw lentils by itself.
I mean, you could.
But you could have chicken
Yeah,
and
I don't-
noodles separate.
Okay, yeah, I don't think Jane's reasoning. I'm with Jane
I
that
think
it's
Jane's
not a soup, but I
rationale.
don't think Jane's rational. I don't agree with Jane's.
That's
My
fine. I don't think
argument
that's an
is
argument.
that soup has a broth. Like soup has like the liquid itself is like a
Is
broth.
tomato soup a broth?
To me, it is.
Is
yeah.
clam chowder a broth?
The liquid is like combined ingredients to make something bigger than itself. Does that make sense? Like
But
it's more than just milk. It's
Okay,
like
but-
a bunch. So I agree with Jane's original one that's like it's a bunch of things mixed together, but for me it's the liquid.
Okay, I just thought of something because I am thinking of porridge now, like Korean juk. It's literally, you can just eat it with rice and water, and I would consider that a soup. And
You're
isn't
right.
that basically the same as cereal, where water, it's just water. It's hot, but it's water. So
That
people
is-
also
Wait,
eat,
oatmeal.
Jen, hold up. You think porridge is a soup?
yeah, I
I think
consider it
kanji
like
is a soup.
If kanji's a
No.
soup, cereal's a soup.
Yeah.
But no,
It's
but
like
I don't
hot
think
cereal. Kanji's like hot cereal. It's a
But I
hot
don't-
grain.
It's
I
like
season my
oatmeal.
kanji. I don't season my cereal.
Listen, if you wanted to, if you were brave enough, you could season your cereal. What
I
about
just
when
think
people
people add
put
sugar.
berries? People add berries, people add
They
cinnamon,
do.
people add sugar.
Okay, let me look up what
Jane, wait,
soup-
no, Jane looks
I
so concerned.
Okay.
It's
That
a
one.
fight. We're gonna
Soup.
fight. Someone was gonna fight tonight.
So
It's
we're
us.
split we're split 50-50 here. So soup as defined by Google is a liquid dish typically made by boiling meat, fish, or vegetables, etc., in stock or water. So because of that definition, cereal is not soup.
Excuse me. Definition number 2 on Merriam-Webster
Wait, doesn't
is
that mean porridge
something
is a soup?
having or suggesting the consistency or nutrient qualities of soup.
But I don't think that cereal is a substance or mixture perceived to resemble soup in appearance or consistency.
Okay, when you leave cereal and milk for a really long time.
Ew, it's so
I guess
gross.
So nasty.
But when you do, is that not
Oh.
the consistency or quality of soup?
Wait, the question came up, is cereal with milk a soup? And then it says cereal in milk is not soup.
Yes, it's not. I just gave
Oh,
you
there's
all
like a
my,
whole forum.
I gave you my rationale. I honestly think they're pretty good.
I only liked your one argument. The other arguments I could not get behind. Your first one was the one where it's like
Combining it.
combining
Yeah.
the
That makes
ingredients.
sense.
It makes
me.
sense. But then like the combining before heating, because even like gazpacho is made,
With heat?
isn't it? Hold on.
I don't know.
No, but we didn't bring in gazpacho. You brought in gazpacho.
But
We
gazpacho
didn't.
is the soup.
Is it
Yeah,
a
we-
soup? Is
It is a
gazpacho a soup?
It is
Yes,
a
it
soup.
is.
It's called soup.
But like, do you heat it to make it? You do, right? Because that's how you get the tomatoes
And
to
then you
thin out.
you cool it down.
Mhm.
I think so, because that's how you get the. That's how you
Like
get the
just
tomato.
stir-
The tomatoes at least must be heated to like make that matte
No,
consistency.
it says raw blended vegetables.
Yeah, but the
So it's like
a
tomatoes are like
Maybe it's
saucy.
not
Oh, it's watered down salsa. so it's never even gets hot. So now I take it back. I don't support your argument.
Lexi, no. Oh wait. So are you still with me?
Cereal is a suit.
Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind.
Okay. Toilet paper, over or under?
Over.
I agree with Jen.
Well, Jane and Lexi are really thinking about this.
I don't
Right, I
care.
I don't have a
Oh.
preference.
Really?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't
I
think I notice.
I
Yeah, I wouldn't
noticed.
say I have a strong preference. Like I don't get mad when I see like under, but I just naturally when I refill like a toilet roll, it's always over. That's
I
like my
get
natural.
mad.
Oh man.
Oh.
And when I first started dating Nick, he like doesn't care. But I think when you don't care, sometimes it's 50-50 chance of how you do it, right? So it'll be under a lot of times, and I'll like be like, why? Why do you have it under? But because I've been with him, I'm actually more relaxed about it now because when he like I'm not gonna change it every single I used to change it every single time. Like when I would go to the bathroom and it was under, he had it under, I would change it to over, but now I actually don't care
Wait,
anymore.
Nancy, when we lived together, did I ever do it under?
I don't remember.
I change that toilet paper all the time too, and I did not think about
Yeah.
it or
Oh, yeah, when
care.
we
I
lived on the second floor,
remember the
Second
second
floor.
floor. I would change. I would change it to
Okay.
the second
we
floor.
never had this conversation when we were all living together. So
Well,
it's
because to
surprising.
me, I didn't want to be like, guys, I need to have the toilet paper over. But now I've like gotten used to it.
I googled it, and I think people say over is the correct way. If you like flush the toilet and then like bacteria comes out of the toilet and it goes on the toilet paper, but then if you do over and you wrap it, then you use the underside. So you like
Oh,
Or get a bidet. I mean,
right.
the
Yes,
ultimate
I think
solution.
bidet or like whichever one uses like somehow uses less toilet paper would be the correct.
Right. I haven't heard about the whole reducing of bacteria, but I have heard how the patent for the toilet paper roll shows the toilet paper going over. Like that's how it was designed with the inventor. I'm not sure if someone needs to fact check me on that, but that's what I heard. But I think it's just so much easier to like pull. But I do think that under, if you do want to save toilet paper, I think under is the best way because it, you tend to lose less than
That's true. That's true.
over because there's more friction. Like it's not a smooth over. There's like, at least for me, every time I do under, and that's why I hate it, is that it rips sooner than I would like it to be. So maybe I should keep it under. So it forces me to like use less. Now I'm questioning the validity of my choices. What mythical creature would improve the world most if it existed?
I kind of don't want us to have mythological creatures because then we would obviously exploit them like as a society and then it would be really fucked up. So
Yeah, like I just automatically thought of like unicorn and like unicorn.
yeah, me too.
It would be like
Sad.
unicorn medicinal uses and they would get killed like rhinos.
Oh, look at us. Jaded by this world.
I have like animal dyslexia. Are phoenixes real?
No.
No.
No, Jane, they're not. You think there's a bird that burns itself up every 1,000 years and comes back to life?
No, Jane, it's okay. I like that narwhals were fake. So like,
What the heck?
well, like up until like high school, I thought narwhals were like fake. Like,
Was it the
why do
horns?
narwhals exist but unicorns don't exist?
Tooth.
But it's, I don't know, for unicorns, it could be a tooth too. It's like sticking
It
out.
could. They could be real, but guess
That's
what?
what
They're
I'm
not.
saying.
Narwhals are.
Why do unicorns not exist when we have narwhals and rhinos? But why do giraffes exist? Like, why do we think giraffes are normal?
It's just the nature of
The freaking long
Revolution.
neck.
What would the giant tooth on the top of a horse be for?
Like the same for like a rhino, like to like help defend in the environment, to attract females for the male to mate. So like those with bigger horns get more females. And they
It's not the size that matters. The motion of the ocean.
for unicorns it matters.
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing over Jane's question.
I feel you, Jane. I mean, I didn't think it was real, but I feel you. I think it's very valid.
I'd like to point out, you guys were alive in the age of the internet, and Google has pictures of narwhals, but not pictures of phoenixes.
They do have pictures of phoenix. They're just drawn.
CGI, yeah. It's all different.
Going back to the original question, though, I think it'd be cool if
Mhm,
phoenixes
mhm.
were real. I feel like we could harvest like regenerating properties without harming the bird, like stem cells.
Like use them like nuclear power plants, like harness the energy they create when they burn up.
No, not like that. Like medicinal, like
what
Oh.
makes them
like stem
generate.
cells. Yeah. Okay, next.
Okay. What's the best pizza topping?
Pineapples. I don't know if I would say pineapple is the best, but I think definitely like anything like veggie. is the best.
I like white pizza with broccoli or
Oh.
spinach.
If I can only do one topping, like those like deals that's like one topping pizzas, I'll either do pepperoni or spinach.
Good move. If you can only have one, they're good. That's good options.
Right. I do like pineapple on pizza, but I would have to have it with like meat.
Yeah.
And usually
Yeah,
I
I
go
don't-
with pepperoni.
Never had it without meat. Just pineapple sounds kind of weird.
Pineapple with ham is pretty good, but it's not my, like if it's there, I'll eat it, but it's not my first choice.
I actually like those like deluxe supreme type pizzas where it's like every meat and every
40
vegetable.
million meats. Yeah.
Right.
Combo pizza.
Oh my
So
gosh, I
good.
miss Costco food so much.
No, dude, they took away the combo pizza after COVID started. They
Like, they
only
only
have
have-
pepperoni now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And I think their pepperoni's like too greasy for me.
That's why you dab it. You get a towel and you dab it.
When I was younger, I would like make fun of my mom for dabbing her pizza because I'm like, why would you do that? Like, that's where all the flavor is. Like, you're not eating pizza to be healthy. Like, like just like shitty things that like a hormonal 12-year-old would say.
Classic.
But then now I'm like, yes, I now
Dab, dab,
understand why you are dabbing
Dab,
the
dab, dab.
pizza.
Dab, 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 dab.
Kids are smarter than grown-ups. Would you agree or disagree?
Kids are more creative and less jaded.
I agree.
And more honest.
But smart is such a broad word.
Yeah.
Like there's so many ways to be smart. So I hesitate to say smarter because there's different ways to be smart. There's like smart from experience, smart from like knowledge you like practice and acquire, smart from like just being able to adapt to situations differently. So it's all those kinds of smart. But kids are definitely more creative and more open and very honest, like Jen said.
Maybe
As
too
someone who's
honest.
worked with kids, like kids like will tell you like it is. Like I was wearing yellow pants and doing a story time, and some kid told me that my pants looked like his pee, and then another
Oh my
kid
God.
hugged my leg and peed on it, all on the same day.
What the fuck, dude?
So kids fascinate me. And then the one time I was working the gorilla exhibit at the zoo, and some kid came up and said, "Mommy, the gorilla's hairy like you."
I would cry.
Yeah, me too.
Oh gosh. I think that, I mean, we can't compare wisdom that is gained from life experience or education because that's just putting it at uneven balance. But I do think that kids are better learners. They just absorb more and
They're
they
like
will-
sponges.
right. They'll learn faster compared to adults when you like present something to them.
I think that's just how like their brain develops, right? It's,
Yeah.
like,
Right.
Mm.
they pick up on things faster. It's kind of like languages. If you learn a second language when you're a kid, like you'll retain it. But like it's so hard as an adult to learn another language. There's like studies proving that like if you learn a language before a certain age, it's like that much easier to retain. For example, like when I went to kindergarten, I didn't speak any English, but then like the next year by first grade, I was like fine. Would I really be able to learn a new language at my current age in a year? Like absolutely not. Even like no matter how intense the immersion is, there's no way.
Which is why like people who move to different countries and like as adults and have to learn a totally new language and build a whole life, like I'm just like, how do you do that?
And it's why so many households, the kid's the primary translator.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of immigrant households, the parents, their English is limited. And then in America, their kid becomes their primary translator.
Mm.
Okay, next one. Does age really matter in a relationship?
Yes, kind of.
I think it depends how old you are.
Like assuming it's not, the question doesn't involve like
illegal.
minors.
Minors, yeah. No
Yeah.
minors are involved. It's all consenting adults.
I think it can definitely influence a relationship. But if someone's like just graduated from college, for example, and then the other person in the relationship is like very established, like very well into their career and stuff, I feel like that can definitely impact the relationship in many ways. You know, when you're in different places in your life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I
Right.
think it's like life stages over age.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah, I do agree with that because I was gonna say a 5-year difference is a lot between a 18 and a 23-year-old, but
Yes.
if you're 50 and 55, you know,
Right.
even
Who
like
cares?
50 or 60, like that's like, you know, like because you're
You're in a similar
supposedly-
life stage. Yeah.
right in a similar life stage is different than a 20 and a 30-year-old, you know. So I do agree that it is more on life stages than age itself.
Does a guy's height matter?
Oh, that's a good one,
Ooh.
Jane.
Yes.
I think yes as well.
No,
No.
it used to be when I was younger, but I think the older I get, the less important it is to me.
That's valid.
Okay, he is 4 inches shorter than you. How do you feel?
Wait, so he's like,
How do you feel? Tell me how you feel. I need you to think about it. I need you to think about where that lands. And I need you to make a decision. This isn't
Okay,
someone you're just chatting with or being friends with. I mean, picture yourself in a sexual situation with someone 4 inches shorter than you.
Okay, I think my reasoning is that I'm not that tall to begin with. So it's like very rare for me to meet guys that I'm interested in who are shorter than me.
What if
But-
you did? What if you did?
4
No.
inches shorter.
4 inches.
Then I guess it does matter.
Okay, what's like the minimum for everyone here for a guy's height?
5'5",
Wait, how tall
which
are
I
you?
think is like 5'2", 5'3". I feel like that's kind of like I know it's like a generalization, but it seems like an average-ish
I think
height.
it's like slightly under average, but I think it's still like
Men are 5'9", I think.
Oh, okay, see 5'5".
So for me, height does matter. And I was like very shallow about it while I was dating, which is terrible because like it's like the whole, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of double standards for women in general out there. So men can have one thrown at them. But you know, like if you think about it, but if a guy says anything about a woman physically, you're like, what the fuck, right? But like as a woman, we're more comfortable. But anyways, I digress. But no, I was very shallow about height for sure. Because, and my reasoning is this, if a guy is on the shorter end, they are always lying about their height. Like the amount of times a guy puts 5'8" and he's not actually 5'8. So if a guy puts 5'8", I'm
So you
always
think that
assuming he's like,
shorter than 5'8".
yeah, he's like 5'6" or something, right? Like Elena is like a true 5'8". So and if a guy is truly 5'8", like I could have lived with it, right? So I like would go out with guys on their profile who say 5'8", and I show up and they're not 5'8" because I can tell because I have Elena as a frame of reference, and how when I talk with her, I know how, you know, like where she stands, her eye level and stuff. And these guys who say they're 5'8" are not 5'8", they're like 5'6", and I'm like 5'3", over 5'3", bordering on 5'4". According to the doctor, I'm 5'3 3/4. I was truly at that point when I was dating, if a guy was truly 5'8", I was comfortable with that being my minimum. But you know, guys aren't truly 5'8" when they say 5'8". But then I have learned that also there is such thing as being too tall, because I dated a guy that was 6'5", and it
Oh my
was
gosh.
too tall. Like I thought it was like a myth that someone could be too tall for someone, but like for me 6'5" was too tall. But you know, now my current boyfriend is like 6 feet, so I'm in a happy medium.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
It is, even though he actually hates short girls. I'm like a short girl.
So for Jane and Lexi, does it matter? I don't know if you guys answered.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think minimum for me is like 5'9".
Wow.
5'8", 5'9". Which honestly, I don't think it's like that high of
It's
expectation.
because guys lie. They lie.
Yeah, like,
I
it's 5'9",
just
5'9".
with men, I need them to be taller than me. With women, I need them to be around my height or taller than me.
So you like being shorter in general?
Yes. I think it's just like I like to be able to like make eye contact without being uncomfortable. And also, I'm not like swiping based on it, but like if I meet you and you're not listen,
It
even
is
an inch I can
holistic
overcome.
approach.
But like if you are shorter than me, it's over. Like I
Right.
can't.
I
So
think
why
5'8"
waste
is
your
like my
time?
bare minimum.
See, I'm not that crazy. Like, listen, if he was an inch taller than me, I'd be like, this is not great, but I'm okay. I'm okay with it. If he's really hot and he's an inch taller than me, I'm not gonna, you know. Jane's really a stickler on that height, huh?
5'8".
No, this guy.
Okay, honestly, I don't think 5'8" is asking for much. That's like very average height, I think.
Does anyone have any other questions? Open mic night.
What is your airplane seat preference? Window, aisle, or middle?
Aisle all the way for me.
Aisle. I'm a chronic peer.
Me too, Lexi. Even though I actually hate peeing, I just don't like the thought of having to ask a stranger
To move
you
over.
please move? Right. But I'm okay, obviously, because I know myself. So I'm okay if someone has to do it, obviously. But I have the anxiety.
It's the social anxiety of the whole situation.
Yep.
I'm like, I know, like, for example, on like flight to Korea, I'm gonna need to pee like 3 or 4 times just because it's a long haul. And like a flight across the country, I need to pee once or twice. So I don't want to be in the situation where I multiple times have to ask the person next to me and like piss them off, you know?
I feel you. I also feel safer in the aisle. I just get anxiety flying when I fly alone, at least. For
it's
me, I feel
different when I'm with
safer.
people I know. When I'm with people I know, I want the window. If we're all 3 in the row as family, I want the window.
No,
I'm the same with
I get that.
Lexi.
Because like I don't mind climbing over my dead ass asleep brother
Right.
to get out to the bathroom.
I like aisle on short flights because then I can just like get up and get out of the plane. But on long
True.
flights, I'll do window because like I
For the
don't pee that
sleepies?
often. Yeah, and I like pass out. I'm telling you, I like pass out before the plane takes off and before the plane lands. So like I
That's
don't
such
want
a blessing.
when like someone next to me has to go pee. I'm like, do I really have to get up? So long flights, I
Right.
do window. Short flights, aisle, so I can just get up and get off the plane.
What's considered a short flight to you? Like 3 hours or?
I think anything less than 4 hours is short. Because I think like Colorado to like East Coast, which is what I was doing for like all of college. Like that wasn't a long flight for me.
Is that 4 hours?
Yeah, about like three,
that's
three
not
and a
bad.
half. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Like over 4
Yeah.
hours is when I'm like, oh, that's kind of a long flight.
But the longer flights are usually bigger planes and they're like more comfortable to me. At least
true.
international flights. So
Yeah.
International, when you get that middle aisle, that's comfy.
yes, the middle one.
But they don't do that for cross country.
No, they don't. So, but when you do the international, you get the middle aisle, but the middle aisle, but the aisle seat of the middle aisle, that to me is the gold.
That's a good seat. That's a good seat.
Right.
The window. Just give me the window. Leave me be. Don't talk.
You
to
could
me.
kind of like stick your legs out a little if you're in the aisle of the aisle. Because when I was flying to Israel, I like got like the ideal seat where it was like the seat before the break between the two like classes. What do you call that?
Oh, yeah.
Like first class splits into economy. I got the seat in economy that like even though your TV is shit then, I didn't care because I was exhausted. So I just like stuck my legs kind of like this and I was like, yes, sleep.
Okay, next one. Are bad words bad?
Like fuck.
Yeah. I feel like this is a very biased group because we all curse.
Yeah, none of us are like anti-cursers.
Yeah, like curse words I don't think are bad. But obviously there are
Bad.
there are like actually bad words out there, you know, that people like shouldn't say.
Right. General bad, like not ones that are discriminating or anything, but like the general, I guess, curse words. Are there words that you guys hate, would not say, or hate when it's being said?
The C word for ladies' genitals. I won't say that word ever.
Yes.
I think that's an
I've
icky
said
word.
that either.
I think
no one has ever said it to me too.
I think it's far more common in England. It's really generalized and neutralized there because they use it like as much as we say shit. But I think it's such a harsh word here in the States that I would never use it.
Right. I agree, Lexi. I think like it just makes me feel like gross.
Yeah.
Like the word itself to me is gross.
It's like a gross word.
Right. Like how some people feel like with the word moist, but that's just how I feel when like people, but people don't really say it here.
I don't think it's very common in the States, but it's really common in England.
I can't think of anything else though. But like, because like Nancy, you're right. We do curse a lot as a friend group. So
we do. It's really bad, actually.
My mom, when I first came home from college, she was like, "Where have you picked up like this habit?"
Me too. I like curse in front of my mom now when I'm back home. It's really bad. I don't curse.
No, it's really bad. I think it's really funny. Because she's like, Jane, don't say fuck. Like I feel like that makes me want to say it more because it's just so funny. Like
it's tempting.
Like what did you say? Like shit, something.
Yeah, no. like I don't obviously say it to my mom or
Right.
like in a conversation with her, but my brother and I will talk, and then I just casually say like shit is like a normal vocab word now in like my language. Not my, but like my vocabulary. And then she'll just be like, can you guys please like not say that word? Like, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. But I actually curious, at what age do you guys remember what age you guys were aware of curse words?
Definitely
Aware.
like middle school is
Oh,
where
that
really is
that
is that
old, really?
Like when I like started hearing it,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like elementary school for sure. Like
Yeah.
I definitely knew like all the curse words like by the time I was like in third grade.
oh
Like I didn't use it, but like I knew it.
Right.
I
I
definitely
think,
knew pretty young.
yeah.
Mm.
For me, I distinctly remember it was second grade, and it was like in the computer lab, and someone like was typing out as, but then they accidentally put another s at it, like at the end, and then everyone was like, ooh, and I was like trying to figure, I was like, what, like what's wrong, like what's that word, because I didn't know like what that word was, because growing up I like my family doesn't curse or anything, at least in English. So like, you know, I didn't know what that word was. And so then everyone was like, ooh, so then I like looked it up, but then I started like reading books, like a lot of books, and like I like maybe like around third, fourth grade, and that's when I started to get exposed, I would say,
oh
to like
wow.
different words. So then yeah, like by the time fourth, fifth grade, that's when I like were familiar with like I guess the quote unquote basic or the more common curse words for sure. But I have that, but that's like a core memory of mine. Like the first time I've been exposed to, because growing before second grade, it was like stupid or like pissed. Like, why do teachers think like when you say I'm pissed or pissed off, like they never liked it growing up.
I
But
don't
like
know,
to
it
me,
was
that's not.
weird.
That's
Yeah,
extra.
yeah, like I don't know. I never considered the word pissed to be
I
a
think just
bad
vulgar.
word.
I don't
Vulgar, yeah, that makes sense. I do think there is a hierarchy of vulgarness, and I
Yeah.
do think fuck is on the in terms of commonness, like the bigger ones, and shit
I'm
is
so
lower.
desensitized. I just don't even.
Well, yeah, now I say it all the time.
When I hear it, I'm not shocked or anything. Like if like I saw a kindergartner say it, I'd be like a little shocked.
But I
But
don't
like,
think it's funny. Like I think kids cursing is so funny because they don't even know what it means.
yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. Like the little kids that just start repeating things. Yeah.
Well, that's it for our conversation starters tonight. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Join us for next week's episode, released Sunday, for Six in the City podcast. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Six in the City. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at sixinthecitypod.
This episode was edited by Nancy with music brought to you by Gandhara Pratama.